Erik Ten Hag looks like he's gonna hate to change his cards and is going in for a double striker signing all demand this summer. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David remains my name. Jordan Sancho is into the mix as Erik Ten Hag goes ahead to really explain to us his progress ever since he returned from Netherlands, where he was undergoing rehabilitation for close to 3 months. And we are also going to discuss a little bit about the takeover process that Erik Ten Hag has found himself in a situation of talking about, and what his insight has been onto this situation. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. You know that we are just left with 3 games to go into the Premier League. We want to fight and really play in the Champions League next season. That's the aim of Erik Ten Hag, and we are having a big game today, and it's going to be again at Bournemouth that we need to win. But amidst everything, that doesn't stop us from bringing the stories before we get into the match day live in the next 2 hours from now, as per the time of recording. Now, the United correspondent for the Times, known as Paul Hurst, has gone ahead and really confirmed us that Man United could sign 2 centre forwards, that is strikers, this summer, with Hojlund, the Atlanta forward, joining Harry Kane on their shortlist. Ten Hag wants to sign an elite striker, with Spurs Harry Kane topping the wanted list, and an up-and-coming forward, which is where Hojlund comes into the equation. Now, Harry Kane. You know, there are certain things that you really hear keep in the news, coming in more often, and you don't want to hear such stories, but you have nothing to do because it's not you who is responsible for making such signings. You know, Harry Kane to Manchester United is one of those deals that you would at any day not really love. That's it. Not because that Harry Kane is not going to come to Manchester United and really score goals, but the age of Harry Kane, because when you look at the entire squad of Manchester United, we are having very many players who are really having 30 years of age. David De Gea is 30 plus, you know. Rafael Varane is going to make 30, you know. I think has made 30. He has made 30 this year. Casemiro is 31. Eriksen is 31. Bruno Fernandes is 29. Now, if you're having 5 starters in that team of Manchester United and they are all 30 plus, all nearing their 3rd decade, why would you love to add on a striker who is 30 years of age, and you really need what we call to balance the age of the squad? Because if you told me that you're bringing in Victor Osimhen, I'll be excited. 24 years of age. You know that you're having him for the next 6 seasons. But we don't have the money to bring in Victor Osimhen, not until maybe the Qataris take over the club of Manchester United. Goncalo Ramos is in the same amount of player like Harry Kane, and it's just 21 years of age. Now, for me to go for Harry Kane, I would rather go for Goncalo Ramos, because he'll go in for £100 million and Harry Kane might go for £100 million. But yesterday, I read the story from the transfernews.com, written by Steve K, that Harry Maguire is one of those players that Spurs have gone ahead to pick interest in. I think that can fuel this transfer of Harry Kane to Manchester United, because if they value maybe Harry Kane at like £100 million, then Harry Maguire is valued at like £40 million. Then if we get them Harry Maguire and £60 million, we get Harry Kane. I think that can be good business for Manchester United. But what is going to excite me today is that Erik Ten Hag wants to sign 2 centre forwards, with Hojlund, another one into the mix, a boy that is really 21 years of age, left-footed, clinical, and he wants him to come in as an understudy. And the coming in of Hojlund into the mix just confirms to us that that Erik Ten Hag is not convinced with the job that Wout Weghorst has gone ahead to do. Why? Erik ten Hag has always demanded for 3 strikers. He now has 2, and out of those 2, he needs to get out 1 and bring in 2, because he anticipates that next season is really going to be a very huge season for him, and he needs centre forwards to come in through. Because even if you bring in Harry Kane and Antoine Martial, if at all one of those strikers find himself injured, guess what happens? You are left with 1 centre forward, something that Erik ten Hag doesn't want to be involved into next season. And I think Hojlund can act as a good understudy for Harry Kane and obviously compete with Antoine Martial, because we are going to be playing in very many tournaments, and the manager Erik ten Hag would always have to want a very fired up front 3. And I think for Hojlund, he still has a lot in him to be developed, and Ten Hag might shift him sometimes onto the right attacking side of the midfield, or even to play into the central midfield. That is Hojlund for you, because he's talented and has a swift left foot. But where does this leave Wout Weghorst? That means United is really willing to let him go and return to Burnley. Why? Burnley will call in for like £10 million to sign Wout Weghorst, and Hojlund will only go for like 30 or 40 million pounds. So I think for Erik ten Hag, will say that Weghorst is 30, right? But Hojlund is just 20. If you can spend 40 million pounds onto him, striker for the future, I think that will be good business for Erik ten Hag. And if at all you tell me that we are going to get in Hojlund and Harry Kane, I would be excited and elated about that double centre forward signing this summer. But the big question is, where does that money come from? Maybe Ten Hag is looking at the swap of Harry Maguire to Spurs and pay £60 million to Spurs, then the balance of £40 million goes to Hojlund, because we've been told that hard cash present into the finance department of United for Erik ten Hag to spend before selling any player is £100 million. Now, if at all there is a chance for us to pay £60 million to Spurs plus Harry Maguire and get in Harry Kane, I think that will be elite business, provided Ten Hag uses the 40 and really gets in the player that he really wants. But where does that leave us onto Kim Min-jae and the central midfielder? Because Kim Min-jae will go in for like £45 million, and maybe Erik ten Hag would love to go on and really get in Rabiot on a free, because we won't be needing a lot of money to sign that player and deliver him at Old Trafford. And that is all being delayed by the takeover process of Manchester United that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to describe in his own words as, it's a question of finances and whether there is the money available to do the right things, but above all, we have to participate in the Champions League and be in top 4. That's our goal. So for Erik ten Hag, on the takeover process, he's not bothered if at all there is money for him to spend in the summer. That's it. All what he wants is the board to get him money and finances to really get in the players that he wants. And each and every time he talks about the finances, my mind rushes to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, because sorry about that. He's the man who has gone ahead to promise a lot of things for Manchester United, and amidst all that, giving Erik ten Hag an open checkbook to sign in players that he wants. And Ten Hag, talking about finances, is sending the message to the Glazers that please make sure that you get me the amount of money that I deserve to strengthen my squad, because the finances are really important, and money being available to do the right thing. And obviously you cannot do the right thing without money, and even if you're having money, you need to be having the right technical people to come in through and obviously give green light to your project. Like Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to really talk to great players, quality players, as he promised us, as going to deliver world-class signings at Old Trafford this summer. And however much he's talking to them, he's not going to go ahead and really negotiate everything. The chief negotiator the football director, technical director, and the CEO are really responsible to really land those deals in time for Erik ten Hag. And he would love to get these players on time so it that they come on before the preseason and we go with them to America such that he integrates them in the team and he doesn't face what he faced at the beginning of the season when he lost to Brentford and Brighton stupidly like that. So he doesn't want to really go through the same mistakes that he really went through at the beginning of the season. And lastly, he talked about Jadon Sancho and his progress ever since he returned from Netherlands, where he was undergoing mental rehabilitation. Ten Hag said, I think Jadon Sancho is improving. If you look at his performances, he has had good performances against Wolverhampton Wanderers, against Spurs. He's doing well. He has to keep improving. That is what Ten Hag is going to hate to say about Jadon Sancho. And I really support him. And he's a kind of player that is an Erik ten Hag player. And he has gone ahead not to put his head down. Why? One thing that really led to his dropping around October was simple. He was not tracking back. His work rate was really banger average according to Erik ten Hag, and what Ten Hag did was to take him to Netherlands and obviously rehabilitate him. And these games that I've seen him play, I've seen him really run and track back very, very many times. And if I told you to gauge the heat map of Sancho, it's gonna hate to change from the one it was when he came into Manchester United and when he returned from the rehabilitation in Netherlands. And Ten Hag just told him, if at all you're going to play my game, you need to run. Every time you lose the ball, you need to track back, and obviously you need to press to see to it that the team gets the best that they deserve from you. So I think that's what Erik ten Hag has always gone ahead to go and rotate Sancho, and he's calling in for more improvement from him because he has an immense talent. He's immensely talented. That is Jadon Sancho, and if at all he can find himself to better performing levels next season, I think he'll put himself in a position of doing the best that he deserves. And with the illness of Rashford, who never even traveled with the squad of Manchester United to Bournemouth, Sancho is going to start. He's going to start today, and the chance is going to be given to him again by Erik ten Hag to prove himself that he's really ready to really come in through and obviously do the job for the club of Manchester United every time Ten Hag needs him to go ahead and really do the job. Remember, there is Alejandro Garnacho, another one that went ahead to score against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, and I don't see him starting, but I see Jadon Sancho starting off the left attacking side of the midfield with Anton Martial leading the line for the club of Manchester United and Anthony playing wide right. So thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Ten Hag wanting a double striker signing of Harry Kane and Hojlund this summer. What do you think about Ten Hag's thoughts about the takeover process? And lastly, that Sancho is really improving. Do you agree with the gaffer? Yes or no? Into the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later, and I'm going to return when we are doing the match day live as I present you the starting 11 of Manchester United that is going to go ahead and really play against Bournemouth. Remember, we are into a light green jersey today. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, may Allah see you through what you are going through. I'm out.